Today, we are diving into the absolutely wild story of Opendoor Technologies. The big question on everyone's mind is this the future of real estate? Or is it a brilliant idea that's just on the verge of collapsing? Well, the answer seems to lie in a massive, high-stakes bet on AI. And believe me, the clock is ticking.
Now, take a look at this. This isn't just some stock chart. It's practically a battleground for investors. Every single peak and every valley you see from 2025 tells a story of incredible hope and, well, a whole lot of fear. It really shows you the high-stakes game Opendoor is playing right now just to survive. At its absolute peak this year, the stock shot up an unbelievable 320%. I mean, for a hot minute there, it really looked like Opendoor was this unstoppable force. And you can bet the early investors were popping the champagne. But, that feeling didn't last long. The stock then took a nosedive, tumbling 28% from its November high. It created this kind of financial whiplash that leaves pretty much everyone asking the exact same very simple question. So, what in the world is driving all this chaos? I can tell you it's not just random market jitters. Nope. This is a story about a truly revolutionary idea smashing head-on into a pretty harsh reality. You see, all this volatility isn't random at all. It actually shows a deep, deep split between investors. On one side, you've got people who see a groundbreaking tech company that's ready for huge growth. And on the other, you've got people who see a business that's just, well, struggling to find its footing. To really get what's going on, we've got to rewind a bit. We have to go back to the original idea that got everybody so excited in the first place. And that idea has a name: iBuying. So what is iBuying? Okay, think of it like the ultimate cheat code for selling your house. A company like Opendoor uses all this tech to give you an instant all-cash offer. If you take it, they buy your house, they fix it up, and then they resell it. They take all the hassle right off your plate. For the homeowner, the whole process was just brilliantly simple. It's kind of like trading in your car. You hop online, you get an offer, and boom. If you accept it, the company handles everything else. It was this incredible promise to just erase all the normal stress and waiting from selling a home. And that was the core pitch, right? Let's take one of the most stressful things you'll ever do in your life and make it simple and certain. No more strangers walking through your house, no more deals falling through at the last minute. For a lot of people, this really did look like the future. But, and this is a huge but, there was a massive challenge just baked right into this dream. To go around buying thousands of homes with cash, you need an insane amount of money. And you're taking on all the risk of the housing market yourself. And that brings us right to the next chapter of the story. This is where that cash-hungry dream ran smack into the tough reality of the real estate market and, frankly, the struggle to actually turn a profit. Okay, so this slide here pretty much says it all. Over on the left, you see their revenue in an absolute freefall. And on the right, you see exactly why. Opendoor slammed on the brakes and practically stopped buying new homes. They had to cut their risk to survive. But when they did that, they basically choked off their main way of making money. And let's put some hard numbers on that. Just look at the third quarter of 2025. Revenue was down 34% from the year before, and the number of homes they sold down almost 30%. These are not small dips. This is a sign of some serious financial pressure. And here is the real kicker. After all the hype, all the investment, the entire iBuying model is still just a tiny, tiny slice of the pie. It's only about 1% of the whole US housing market. It just hasn't become the revolution that so many people were hoping for. So with their backs against the wall, Opendoor knew they couldn't just keep doing the same thing. And this pushed them into a massive, super high-stakes pivot in their strategy, something they are calling Opendoor 2.0. This pivot is really a fundamental shift in their whole identity. They're trying to go from being this cash-hungry house flipper to being a lean, mean tech platform. The new game is to use their AI not just to buy homes, but to power a whole marketplace where other people can buy and sell. It's what they call an asset-light model. Less risk, less cash, and hopefully a real path to making money. And get this, they've put a firm deadline on this whole gamble. The goal is to break even, to finally stop losing money on their main business by the end of 2026. They said it publicly, so now it's their make or break target. So it all comes down to this one question. Can they actually pull it off? Let's break down the arguments for both sides, for success and for failure, because this thing could really go either way.
Okay, on the bright side, the case for success is pretty compelling. I mean, long term, people will always need houses. That demand isn't going anywhere. And new AI tech really could make their whole process way more efficient and profitable. Plus, with big rivals like Zillow and Redfin getting out of the iBuying game, Opendoor is now the undisputed leader of the pack.
But on the flip side, the risks are just as huge. The housing market is a total roller coaster. No one has ever proven you can make money with the iBuying model at a massive scale. And trying to pull off a pivot this big is just incredibly hard. They call that execution risk. It's one thing to have a great plan, but actually making it happen is a whole other beast. And that leaves us with the billion-dollar question. Opendoor has set the clock. They've placed their entire bet on AI and this new strategy. So now we all get to watch and wait to see, will this incredible high-stakes gamble actually pay off, or is the house about to win?